Hello my gangsters. I figured I'd start this video while I'm busy doing whatever that I'm doing today. How you gangsters doing? Boo, 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 boo. How you gangsters doing? I'm so happy today. It's not like my mood in the morning. I think it's this video that I'm about to do. How you gangsters doing? Hope you guys are doing good on this Tuesday afternoon. You guys have seen by the title of the video how my partner and I met. How Bay and I met. Yo, he. Cheers everybody. Happy festive. So yeah, you guys have seen by the title how Bay and I met. Whoa. Let's go back in time. Let's go back in time. The year is 2007. Actually, before 2007, I think 2006 or 5, I'm not sure. So we're going back before we officially met. So I am walking to varsity with my friend and her man, my cousin. So I'm not sure what we went to go and do, but we had to go to yours. We had to go to varsity that night. We walked. My friend didn't stay that far from the varsity. We walk. We walk. Sharp, we get to the varsity. I think it was Villa. Or it still is Villa. The Dome. So yeah, we get to Villa. And I see this cat. I see this cat wearing a trucker cap. He's wearing a trucker cap, and I'm like, delicious dish. But I wasn't there for him, so I was there for whatever I was doing. So I saw and I left. But I was like, he's hanging out with cats that there's a fly somewhere. He's hanging out with cats that I normally see or know. So I'm like, chances we are going to meet. Fast forward. We meet. So I'm kind of homeless in between, so I'm crashing at an acquaintance's place. So he's there because he's dating some other chick who's also part of the Tosa gang. I'm dating somebody. I'm dating that guy that I took from that friend of mine. But I see the guy, I'm like, oh, okay, no, sure. So me and that guy break up. So yeah, life goes on. And this one time, this friend's friend, sure, she says, let's go to a street corner. Guys, please forgive me. There is a fly somewhere and it is interrupting me. Let me get rid of it. It's like Why don't you go? I seem to have a tendency of getting up in the middle of my shoots due to something that is irritating me. Yo, the last time it was a lizard. Yeah, no, let's not go there. Okay, so where was I? Alright, so me and this guy have broken up now, and Sharp is single and all of that. So this chick is like, let's go to street corner, this Chisanyama in Bloom. We'll go to street corner, blah blah blah. So this chick knows, but okay, Timz also likes them herb. That's a weakness. She's like, no, this friend of mine has something, he's selling something, so maybe you should try it out, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Sorry guys, I just want to finish what I'm doing. I'm like, okay. We go. I'm like, when we get there, she's like, oh, here's the guy. I'm like, oh, this is the guy. I'm like, oh, okay, hi, sharp, sure. So we meet a couple of times, and then we get together, and then I discover he's dating this friend of mine from even back home. He's dating her. So Brother Man was a player. Let's admit that. Oh, Brother Man was a player, and I'm putting emphasis on was because that's past tense. Brother Man has calmed down. He is all good now. But yeah. So Brother Man was a player. So we go to this club one night. So him and this, he's now going out with this other chick. I'm also friends, or I won't say friends. Let me correct myself. Acquaintances, because you know the difference between an acquaintance and a friend. So they sharp, or I see him. I'm like, oh, okay, and that night, I think, because it was jam-packed in the club, I think they stole my phone. They cut my bag underneath because I was holding, and it was jam-packed, and we were all trying to get in. So they managed to cut my bag with a blade, and the phone dropped. So I realized that when I got to the club. This was Club Ozone. Those that know the club will comment on the comment section. Ozone, yo, yeah, no, the stories about that club. So they there. So I don't worry about the phone. I'm like, oh, okay, niggas here with this. Oh, he's dating, bang, okay. I'm like, all right. I move on. Like, I move on. I'm not there. I move on. And then time goes on. This person, Ube, starts coming now to the commune where I was staying. I'm like, okay. So then this one time, it was a public holiday. I think it was it Heritage Day? It was a public holiday. So I'm like, he comes to the commune. So we're just chilling by the pool. I'm obviously hooking up my herb, and the girls are drinking, we're drinking. It's a public holiday. Kichivas. So Timz was like, I feel like it's inyama is a street corner. I feel like street corner's bride meat. So he's like, oh, okay, no, I can take it. So the girls put in the order, no, get this. I'm like, okay, I'll see if I can get drinks. I'm not sure if I did get drinks or whatever, but we got the meat. So that was an opportunity to like make my move. Well, the intention wasn't to make my move, but I sent vibes, and I kind of felt like I received vibes back from this guy. So I was like, okay, let's go buy meat and see what happens. So we buy meat and yeah, blah blah blah. Then we start chatting and we chat. I think we chilled. It was years ago. Years ago. We chatted and then the day ended, and I think that day I was no, nothing happened that Sunday. Or was it a Sunday? I'm not sure, guys. It was a long time ago. I'm not sure, but nothing happened. Something happened the next day. The next day. So brothers, I don't know. We eventually exchanged numbers. Oh, brothers calls. This is during the night. I'm back from work. I was working at F&B Commercial Credit back then. I was a temp there. So brothers calls and he's like, no, I'm in the neighborhood. I just wanted to holler and see how you're doing. I think I was not feeling well. I was on my period. I was not feeling well. So I'm like, I'm in my PJs. I'm sleeping. Blah blah blah. He's like, I'm just gonna say hi and bounce. I'm like, sure. I go. I go. I get in the car, it's parked outside, blah blah blah, and sharp, oh, hello, sharp, sure. And then, you know, we start chatting, we start flirting, and we start kissing. Wait! We start kissing. Sharp. Obviously now we can't do anything because Aunt Rose is visiting Timz. Nah, so no action can happen. Sharp. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Action is coming. But guys, and then after that we started calling each other. So Aunt Rose left eventually. So yeah, we eventually, you know, got to the deed end. So the stress now comes when an acquaintance, I still maintain, not a friend, an acquaintance. The acquaintance of the person I was crashing by had a crush on Bae, or she and Bae, she might come out for me. Let me correct myself. She and Bae had a thing. Nah, it wasn't official, it was a thing. So this acquaintance now starts saying, no, she still has feelings for Bae, blah blah blah. Back in the ranch, me and Bae have started something now. So I'm like, shit, do I tell her? Do I not tell her? And what? I'm like, but it's got nothing to do with me. She and Bae must sort out their ish. Because I did ask Bae about the acquaintance, and Bae said, no, me and her had something long time ago. So we are not serious. We were never serious. We tapped. Yes, we did tap, but that was it. I'm like, sharp. So time goes on, then I think people started noticing or realizing that man, there's something happening with this girl, and this girl is not sleeping here now, she's sleeping out. They find out. Yo, guys, I tell you how me and Bae met. It was the most stressful time of my life, because these people just did shit that I didn't understand because of a guy, because of a man that they claim I stole from this acquaintance. It was the most stressful time, guys. I tell you, over men, and I thought we were a clique because he had something on with that one. He had something on with that one, yet those two managed to live together and we all grew together. So I'm having something with him now. Now it's suddenly a problem. It's an issue. They want interventions. What. I'm like, what the F, guys? What the F? I tell you guys, it was Makufe. Oh, the shit happened when it was Makufe. So Bay is not in town. Bay is out working, out of town. I'm like, okay, sharp. I'm gonna hang around the weekend with my friend and her man and her man's gang from Josie. They're around. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm sorted. Let me indulge, guys. Let me indulge. I'm like, I'm sorted. Ha! Little did I know I was sorted. Bay leaves. Makofe starts. It's the weekend. Yo, it girls, is it right? It girls, is it right? We are sorted. We are covered. We are covered. Yo. And I knew I wasn't going to. You know, my bae is out of town. I'm not about to get up to shit. I'm about fun that weekend. Friday night, it's fun. It's all hunky-dory. Saturday night, we wake up. My friend's man is like, no man, girls, I'm gonna go drop you guys. Go have breakfast at the waterfront. Buy outfits for the day. I'll meet up with you guys later. We're like, okay, sharp shoot. That happens. We come back. Kuvas, night. Saturday, it's Ziawa, as in Ziakipa. Jazz time, kumnandi, yo, hey. Sunday, it's now Mahungra. Kawash, Watwati, DJs, cars parked, kumnandi. That's where shit started happening for me. Bay came back from working that weekend. He comes back, he calls me, asks me, where you at? I'm like, no, I'm at Mahungra, blah, blah, blah. He's like, we have to meet. I'm like, we have to meet. Okay. This is like now 2 months, I think August, yeah, I think started in August. The public holiday was in August, I think it was Women's Day, not Heritage Day. So August, September, Makufe is in October, so it was roughly 2 months our thing. He's like, let's meet, we have to, shit is going down. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck. My fun immediately ended. My fun ended that Sunday. Everything just came crashing because I knew shit was hitting the fan. So I met up with my partner. He parks the car. He's like, which side you at? I tell him, we meet up. We meet up at the Shell garage opposite Mahungra. Like, I see him, I'm like, oh my goodness, I've missed you. Oh my god. And you guys know, honeymoon phase, yeah. You know, it first started as stealing, we stealing each other. Now it's so I'm like, oh babes, I missed you. And he's like, this is not the time for this. This is not the time for this, Timzozo. I'm like, what's happening? He's like, your friends have found out, or your so-called friends have found out, and they are saying, if 1, 2, 3 is not happening, 1, 2, 3 is happening. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, she called me, the acquaintance called me, and she's saying 1, 2, 3, and she's saying, come fetch your shit and get the fuck out of the commune. I'm like, I got sober that moment. I got sober that moment. Bay and I left. I said good. I don't even I don't even remember. I don't even think I said goodbye to my friend. I left with Bay and we drove and we went out and we just parked the car and we chilled. I think an hour, she called. She's like, come get your shit. I'm throwing it on the streets. You better come and get it before somebody steals it. I'm shaking as if it's been years, but I was like, Bay and I gathered ourselves and we drove to the commune. Guys, I kid you not, I found my bags outside the yard, by the gate. My bags, my shit, everything was there. Everything was there. And there were somewhere outside from the clique that I had squatted by or thought, you know, these were my friends. And I'm not gonna, it wasn't a free ride for anybody, you know. I was staying there and I was doing shit and they were helping me out with accommodation. It was a fucked up time in my life. We'll get there. We'll do a video, we'll get there. But I was like, wow. I kid you not, guys, I found my shit there and I put everything in the bakkie and some of them were there and they were cursing me. They were saying things to me that I didn't believe, but they said them. It did not end there. It did not end there. So now Bay and I were stuck. So Bay and I were stuck now. It was fucked up, guys. Yo, it was fucked up. He took me to his place that night and I knew shit was just hitting the fan. The next day, he took me to a commune by his cousin and I think I called my friend and I asked if I could stay a couple of days there, which I did, and I stayed a couple of days by my friend, and after that I went and I stayed with Babe, and that's where shit started happening. Guys, I kid you not, I'm not gonna go into the nitty-gritty, bore you know, for hours with the details, but I kid you not, I couldn't believe that this person who claimed that I stole her man from her would be capable of saying and doing things that she did, just because this guy decided, okay, no, he's interested in me and I'm interested in him, because they tapped and she's going to be on this revenge route to get me, you know, for taking her man. And guys, it meant me not walking certain streets to work, because the clique now ganged up and said that if they ever see me on the streets, they were going to donor me, they were going to moor me. If they catch me, they bump into me anywhere on the streets, they're going to F me up. I kid you not, guys, for some time I did not walk a certain road until I was like, F you guys. I kid you not. for some time. There was a day when I remember I took a bus from work because Bay wasn't in town. I took a bus from work and I went to a friend's place, and I went there and I cried, and I was like, this shit is happening and I don't know what to do. I hear rumors that these chicks, this particular acquaintance that claims that I stole her man, she is saying that she is going to go to our flat or our place or the place where we stayed, and she's just gonna go do shit, ritual shit that I yes, the guy's witchcraft. Let's not go into that, but I was like, how does a human being do this to another human being just because of a man? I kid you not, guys. I kid you not. My journey into starting this relationship with this guy. That's my neighbor's car. Keeps on coming and going. I kid you not, guys. I heard things that they were planning on doing to me. And I was like, over a man. And until I decided, you know what, F you guys, and I walked that street. And I was like, we will bump into each other and then shit will go down. Either way. But I am not going to live in fear because of this person who was not even in a relationship with this individual, because now she caught feelings and she felt entitled that it's her man, which was not the case. It was effed up, guys. It was effed up. How I lived, it was because of women ganging up on me because this guy showed interest in me. It's effed up. It's really effed up. And honestly, I am me, Timz, as old as I am today, and me being me today, I really did not steal your man, girl. I did not take your man from you. I did not. So all that shit that I heard and that I went through because this guy showed interest in me was so unnecessary. It was so unnecessary. But I'm not there. I'm just sharing a story time with my viewers on how I met Bay. And unfortunately, that is exactly how I met Bay. So, it's about me. It's about me and what I felt at that time. And what I went through at that time. So, it just boils down to what? How we treat each other as women, because I felt, and I still feel, even after all these years, I still feel all that shit, all that drama was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. So, and after so many years, we still together, you know, we still together, and we have our fights, and like any other normal couple, trust you me, if you are a couple and you don't fight, shit is brewing. Shit is brewing. But we know what's important. We know why we are together. We know why we've sacrificed the things that we've sacrificed. What is the reason for that, or what is the purpose, or what is the goal of all those sacrifices? And I kid you not, with everything that I went through for this guy, with this guy, I don't regret anything. I don't regret the day I met him. I don't. With all that shit that happened, and it actually got me to realize that I never really had friends. It was just a clique. They were just a clique I was meant to have at a certain time of my life. But with all these walks that you walk within your life, you get to a point where you realize who your true friends are and the meaning of friendship, So I'm not regretting anything that I went through in my life, or regarding this particular video that I'm doing, meeting this particular individual or my lifetime partner. I don't regret a single thing. I don't, because everything, the good and the bad, has been worth it. It has been worth it. I think back on the very first day that I saw him, and I'm like, wow. And I was like, that is my man. And it's so funny, after a decade, I'm still saying, that is my man. And I don't have any secret. You make it to be what you want it to be, whatever relationship that is that you are engaging in. You make it. There's no recipe book, or there's no instruction for a relationship. You go with it, and you go what both of you feel is right for the both of you, and it's been a blessing. And I try and keep my relationship as private as I can, and that has worked for me. That is a tip I can give, is just keep certain things private and not for the public, and you'll get far. You'll get far, guys. But I guess that's the story time for today on how I met Bay. But it wasn't a nice beginning for us, but we made it work. We definitely made it work, and we're still making it work. And it's each person's contribution to what you guys are trying to make. You guys have to put in, both of you, effort into building whatever you guys are building, and trust you me, we've broken up, and we've gotten back together, and we've had our fights, and we have our days where we just look at each other and be like, oh, wow. It's what you make it, guys. It's what you make it. And through going through all those things, I'm so grateful and so thankful that he and I are still together today, and we still keep our relationship a sacred space for just the both of us, and not involve anybody in it. Let it be just the two of you guys space, because the minute you start involving a third party into that space, that's where now shit hits the fan. So yeah, and we working on just still growing each other and growing us as a couple, you know. And this holiday or mini trip or mini holiday is just going to just top things up for us. I'm so looking forward to that. I'm so excited. It's been days since he and I got to spend time where it's just the two of us alone. So those are things that I also needed in relationships, just to keep that spark going. Anyway, guys, that is, I think, the end of my story time on how I met Bae. I'm sure I'm gonna have a couple of comments on this one, I'm sure, but yeah, I'm ready for it. It's okay. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's been a pleasure sharing a snippet, not every detail, a snippet on how I met my baby. And check you guys on the next one. Love you, my gangsters.